Yakuza, through and through.
Yep.
They're badasses.
Here we go. No, we're live, man.
Oh, we're live. Okay,
Yep.
hey everyone.
Yo, people. Sorry for the technical screw up at the moment, but I mean at the beginning. But we're just checking out some Pokemon, the new Pokemon coming out in the Direct.
Yeah, we were talking about the teal. We talked about the teal mask before, but now this is the Grand Blue Academy, which is the one I'm really excited about. Indigo Disc.
God damn.
Very techno.
Yo, man. No, this game right here. Can you please tell us, Dan?
Sure. Yeah, this is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, Dugong. Scarlet and Violet. This is the DLC, the major DLC packs for the games, and it's showing off some of the new Pokemon that are coming out. We're looking at some of the new abilities, terrestrialization of classic Pokemon, but we talked about the teal mask being very Japanese centric. Well, this one feels very techno organized. It's biomes with a private reserve.
By the way, for those who don't know, what's the deal? Ash Ketchum, of course, has been retired.
Ah, yeah, that's the I think it was about time. He's been the face of Pokemon for a long time. In Japan, it's called Satoshi. But I think, it's about time to move on to a new generation. When he set out 20 plus years ago, 20, 25 years ago, he said, I want to be the champion. Well, in the last season, he won the Pokemon champion. He became the #1 ranked Pokemon battler.
Right.
That feels like a natural stopping point. That's, hey, we followed you for 25 years. We've watched you get better and better and better while never aging. But I'm excited for new characters, like following new protagonists. Give us some new Pokemon.
Yes, for sure, man.
More details on this DLC.
And this Direct is showing off. Ooh, what's this? Nuggets, rare candies, and a friend ball. Okay, the new rare candy is useful. The nuggets always nice at the beginning, early games to get some extra cash. I've actually heard good things about this one. This game's not as bad as some Pokemon, as some Sonic games have been recently.
See.
But it really hammers into the classic Sonic style. This is a 2D.
I tell you, man, the trick with this is that, my God, I mean, this is being broadcast on a Nintendo Direct. This essentially is once and for all cementing that Sega is giving up on the hardware.
Oh, it's been that way since the GameCube. Ever since Sonic Adventure appeared on a Nintendo console, that was it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them leaning into the 2D. Sonic doesn't work in 3D. Some games are pretty good and some sequences are great, but Sonic works as a 2D. It allows the player the freedom to react to the problems. When it's coming towards you, it's too much visual, sensory information. It's too hard to avoid obstacles. But 2D, ooh, I like that.
This is interesting, isn't it? I mean, people like me, I grew up with Sonic Adventure, even though I know it's not like you're saying, the actual Sonic. I mean, when I grew up, I really grew up with 2D Sonic. But when Sonic Adventure came out, it's a bit like how kids grew up with auto-tune, if that makes sense, and pop singers started to do that. And then do you remember that Stewie Griffin from Family Guy? This is gorgeous. Family Guy sketch when he was an old man saying stupid young people. When I was younger, we had Justin Bieber. That was real music. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. But it's funny because I was never a Sonic fan growing up. I was a Mario fan, and the ethos behind the gameplay is very different. Mario was more slower, more methodical. It invited you to explore because there were secrets, whereas Sonic was about speed and repetition. It was refining your skills because the better you were, the faster the score you got. It was about ranking #1. And these What is this? Arena? This feels like Persona. Oh! It is Persona! This is Persona 5, but a la XCOM. Nice. You know what? I'm kind of liking, this kind of gameplay. And the fact that Persona 5 has been so successful, it's spawned multiple spin-offs of lots of different genres. Bro. But I would like to talk to you more when we're not watching a direct about the kind of influences, your first gaming influences, and how it helps shape how you view what the medium is supposed to be. Like an RPG or a slow, methodic, environmental adventure. That's the kind of game I like, because those are the kinds of games I grew up with.
Well, okay. Just so you know, I mean, like I said, I like when I was saying about how I actually grew up on Mega Drive Sonic, or Sega Genesis from American plays, of course. But I did have my experience with the 3D Sonic Adventure thing. My foundations have got to be Mario also. It's just the staple game, and Mario is one of those games that, of course, not only is a Nintendo mascot, but it's the game that you're supposed to know how to be able to play to. It's a bit like, I don't know, if you're a singer, if you're a gospel singer, you must know how to play Amazing Grace or sing Amazing Grace.
Yeah. It's like a standard. It's the benchmark to get into the hobby.
Exactly.
This looks fun. This Myth Force. I like the fact it draws its visuals from classic Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
And it does feel like the D&D cartoon. It's even got that little smegging floating robot owl thing.
This is a very awesome experience, because I mean, these creatures, they're Splatoon characters. Yeah. And then they're speaking, it's a bit like Simlish for Sim characters.
Yeah. It's Splatlish. Something. You know what? Every time I try to get into Splatoon, I kind of hit barriers, because I'm not really an online battler. I don't play online games much. I'm a single player kind of guy. But it seems fun, but I would rather play with people. This feels like a team thing.
Oh yeah, of course. My first experience with Splatoon is with actual people in the room.
Like the local co-op or online co-op. That's a very different experience. Maybe I'm a little bit old. Maybe I'm kind of back in my day. It was all local co-op. I don't want to play a game with someone I can't reach over and crack around the head.
All right. Growing up, that was a source of contention in a family. But not getting too rowdy. But that being said, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. But that being said, sorry, go you first.
That was the fire starter from Sword and Shield.
Oh my gosh, this is.
I hereby proclaim this day the start of Pokemon Friendship Week.
Detective Pikachu!
Oh my god!
Detective Pikachu's back! Those were surprisingly good games.
I never played one, I have to confess to everybody, I haven't played one, but the very concept of one.
Yeah, it shouldn't work. It really shouldn't. But it feels like an Ace Attorney game.
Oh.
But it's an Ace Attorney game with a Pikachu.
I must play it. The beautiful thing about Nintendo, all the more is just the. I mean, it's just no matter what other consoles. I mean, I'm trying to bring out with the of course with the PlayStation and the Xbox. The strength of the IPs of Nintendo's works are so strong, even so much to bring Sonic into the fold. That no matter what other competitors have, people will still come out in droves just to have a go at the old Pikachu in action, no matter what he looks like.
It's a strength. It is the kind of strength of the IP. Look at how many games Mario was in back in the day, and how many games Sonic did. There's only different genres, and now Pokemon.
Yeah. What's this?
This is Super Mario RPG.
You're kidding. God damn.
Oh my god. Oh, it looks so good.
Dude.
Oh, it's got the classic squishy size.
You know, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, I am excited for this. I am really excited for this. It looks beautiful. Oh, but it better be a 1-to-1 for the game. Oh, where's Genos? Yes, get in. Oh, we've already had the last Smash. We won't get him in the next Smash.
Damn, dude.
Oh my god. I gotta finish Zelda, man, because I'm gonna binge the hell out of that game.
Yes.
I gotta say, the battle system was smart, the game was cute and fun, and the enemies were bright and well thought out. The first one was just revolutionary. It was such a good game, and it proved that Square Enix was, ahead of its time when they first released this Mario and Square Enix style RPG. Oh, beautiful. I mean, it was thanks to the original Super Mario RPG, we got the Paper Mario series.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Oh, it's gorgeous. You know, the best thing is, I confess, I've not even played like enough of these games.
The original?
Yeah. But just by looking at it, it's just even. I'm the kind of person that I love everything about games to the point where even if I just see a game being played, I'm really in love with it. But you know that Nintendo take care. It's not just games. You know, it's games like these. It's like.
Ooh, soon. Ooh, that's soon. 17th of the 11th.
Well, it's not next year at least.
No, this year.
Released on Super NES, Super Mario RPG returns with brand new graphics.
This is the
Whether
business.
you play
Okay.
the original game
11,
or
17.
why not take the opportunity to jump into
Take
the
note.
very
But you see
first
that,
RPG in the Mario
you know, even Mario in that what
Koizumi,
are those cards called? You know, the Indiana Jones Donkey Kong cards. Or,
the only one
when you
Mine carts?
yeah, there you go. There you go. Mario in that minecart. I was wondering if that's drawing inspiration from Donkey Kong Country or.
Oh, what's this? Kishisan's two-way side scroller.
That's right. Princess
Ooh.
Peach will star as the main character in a brand new game. When she steps on this particular spot on stage,
Change your dress.
huh? Whoa. What on earth is happening?
Tease.
That's all we'll show for now.
We just had a game before, but it was on the DS, and it was some.
There's actually something else.
Ooh!
What's going on there?
Oh! Luigi's Mansion.
A visually
Kidding?
enhanced version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
This is the first one. This is the original Luigi's Mansion.
Hope you look forward to seeing more of these ghostly antics.
Oh my god, what?
That's a fun game. That's a really fun game. One location, you're just expanding it. I'm excited for the Peach one. The Peach one could be good. It looks like it's almost like a Super Mario 3. Like it's a stage, and you're gonna use theater tropes. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see some
But
more
I wonder, are you Are we?
Is
my
this
God.
Arkham? Is this Arkham Knight? No.
These are new games, right? I mean, like.
Oh no, that's the first one. That's the second one. That's Arkham City.
Discuss. I want you to know the fear that's coming.
All three. Well, technically there is a Black Sheep third, and there's 4 games, but
You're all going down.
I can play them again.
You still know how to make an entrance.
Asylum. Oh,
And
mwah.
for a Switch, I tell you, damn.
Amazing game. City was the peak. City was so good.
Wow.
Night, great game. But you're following Arkham City. It's like, trying to follow the Dark Knight. No matter how good you are, it can't be done. Ooh, all the DLC.
Oh my
And that was
gosh.
expensive. Especially all the costumes.
I believe that was the idea.
I gotta say, I completed almost everything in those games, bar the simple challenges, the like speed, stealth, and kind of mini challenges.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. I'm gonna wait to see how it runs because I've been burnt before.
But these are all new games. I mean, even that Luigi Mansion you mentioned, so it's a remake pretty much.
Yeah, the Luigi Mansion is going to be a remake of the original. Peach is getting a brand new game, which is more than I want. I want the new stuff, not the old stuff that's good. But like, like I said, I could play the Arkham games again. I've played all of them multiple times. But give me something new. I mean, something like this. This looks interesting. Again, it's more tactical based. It's like what the Persona's new game's doing. People are leaning into it. There's more and more games like this. You know why? Because they're not that hard to make. They have endless replayability.
Right.
I'm interested. I'm interested. What else have we got? It's fun. I've got Just Dance 2022.
All right. I never.
The trouble is that each game's got a pretty decent library of songs, and there's so much fun to do it. But they just ram the adverts down your throat.
Oh,
you
really?
can't escape it, even in the game. They're advertising, hey, join our deluxe service, our membership once a month service, and get all the songs from previous games. The catalog is huge, and it's so tempting. You know, I have to fight myself when I'm playing the game, not to look at the extra tracks.
I see.
And then every so often they'll show me some tracks, like, oh, you like this song? How about these? I'm like, yeah, I love. I have to pay for those.
So wait, I mean, you play this on the Switch, right? So
I play this on. I played this on the Switch. Yeah. So.
I mean,
Oh yeah, look at that.
hundreds. Yes, I imagine. I mean, have you played it on a Connect?
No, but I would.
I was thinking,
I mean,
a game like
controllerless.
this. The trick with the Switch is that I think the clever thing is that it allows you to cheat. I imagine, right? In terms of
A little bit. It kind of works. You work around it. You have to state whether you're one person or two people because it depends depending on which song you're playing and how you're doing it. You need to use control in each hand or one controller one hand. And if you don't pick the wrong option, the game doesn't work because it doesn't know what you're doing.
I see.
I say, great library, and it's very simple, very intuitive. It looks great. I say it's a lot of fun, but because it's a Ubisoft game, they just ram the advertising down your throat, and it puts me off. I haven't played it in a while. I used to play it every other couple of days. It's great exercise.
I gotta say, you remember that game that came out with that wheel that you have to exercise it?
Yeah, see, that's fun. I played that at a mate's place. Yeah, that's clever. You know, a bit of RPG
yeah, it looks
in your
clever.
exercise.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's a clever piece in my opinion that has Nintendo trumping, well, if you will, the Kinect a little in terms of actually focusing on the toy element or the physical thing that you. When it comes to exercising with the Kinect, it's all good, all well and good, but to exercise and have the computer track you, but to actually just deal with a physical object,
Well, it's having a contactless or like a controllerless controller is a great idea, and the technology evolving to the point we can do something similar, great. But there is something to be said about actually holding something in your damn hand. You know, just the tactile nature of it. And I just say, Nintendo was a toy company, and for generations, for decades, they lent into that and made their games and their peripherals fun.
Yes, that is exactly what the whole deal is about. It's the fun aspect. I mean, this is. And by the way, thanks for catching us today. It looks like we'll just have enough juice on this poor computer I'm using to see the whole thing.
You ever played any of these Hot Wheels games? I say they look fun, but the tricks in it look so absurd. I think, I can imagine myself just being flipping off the track like multiple times.
I don't know until you actually play it and see how sensitive it is. Like when you start trying to drift into another lane, if it's one of those things that would send you flying or careening off a cliff or something, that'd be one thing. But that's the beautiful thing about games. It's one thing to look at it, which I think is great in itself, but to play it, it's another thing.
Games like this are fun. It's like Overcooked. It's a lot of fun with friends. But again, I played them local co-op and online co-op, and local trumps it. It's the whole pick up a play, Rockstar Bend kind of experience. Ooh, this is fun. Wow, like third strategy game.
The rabbits are very funny creatures, man. In that the TV show is so wacky as hell, in my opinion. But
well, they started off as a freaking Ubisoft thing, but they started off as a Rayman thing. They were like enemies of Rayman, and then they kind of got their own games, and then it just became like this weird IP that got injected to a bunch of other places. Dragon Quest, get in!
this is
cool. I love Dragon Quest. That's my jam, baby. Track slap. Okay, is this an actual Dragon Quest or a spin-off?
That's a good point. Let's see where this is going. Again, look at this. You see what's clever about this, Dan? It's that the cell shading and everything that they're doing here. Well, if this is cell shading, yeah, it is.
They've got a very clear art style. Right from the beginning, this is Akira Toriyama's creations.
Exactly. You see, this is the thing when it comes to what Japan has this kind of time capsule kind of vibe to me sometimes, in that some stuff that they do, even when it comes to the commercials and making jingles, like I was saying to you on, I think on a stream before, that we don't really do jingles in the UK anymore. It's just special effects.
Really.
Yeah, but Japan, they really, when they found that jingle thing, well, they found their voice through a particular art form, they kind of stick with it, even though the technology advances. That's
an interesting way of putting it. Once they find their voice, all these kind of very particular style to things, it's like, hey, this is the way we like it.
Exactly
it works for us.
And I think
now, it's not entirely true. There's a lot of variety all over the place, but it's so prevalent that it's a hard trope to ignore. It's like, hey, in action films, walking away from the explosion happens. Not every action film.
Oh, I see.
But if you saw someone walking away from the explosion, you wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly. I see. Yeah, exactly. So there are moments where they say,
"Oh, here comes Pikmin. There he is."
Okay.
Welcome to the Rescue Corps.
Oh my gosh, my camera is super bright.
Recruit,
Anyway.
It looks like you're going to heaven. You died, man. Are you okay? No! Don't go in the light!
No worries, I think I'll counteract it with my shades.
See, this is a smart move. Adding a puppy, adding a dog, it adds to that cutesy, simple, locational feel of Pikmin.
So this dog's a new character.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be used as like a treasure locator, I think. Like you have to use the dog to find stuff and the Pikmin to gather it.
Blow your whistle to gather them and have them follow you.
This is good. You know what? They remind me. Pikmin are like. Did you see the movie Princess Mononoke? The Studio Ghibli movie called Princess Mononoke.
Oh yeah, I love Princess Mononoke. Beautiful.
You know those creatures that are in the trees that had those little shaky heads?
Oh yeah,
I think these Pikmin look like they're based on that. No, it just occurred to me.
Maybe. There may be a little bit of truth there. They're like local spirits. It leans into the Shinto nature of things. Like everything has a soul. Like the terrain has a soul, the plants have a soul, the mountain has a soul. And so there are spirits everywhere. And if you could recruit them,
Why not take the plunge?
you're in a good place.
Right. That's
Ooh,
again.
look at
It's that.
Different
Oh,
environment awaits.
this is gorgeous. It looks like a Pythagoras switch.
Unusual contraptions.
Yeah, this is a game that's made for the Switch. Just
Yeah.
Pikmin's a very...
Even more treasures are around every corner.
Oh, look at
This is
this.
gorgeous, man.
Is that Olimar?
Find some castaways
Wow.
too.
This, you know, if I had kids, man, I tell you, this game is like something that they'd be spending a hell of a lot of time in. It's like,
This leafy individual just nabbed the castaway. You've got to stop him.
Ooh,
It's time.
battling in Pikmin.
Battle.
oh man, I'm excited. Even
Embrace
though
the art of Dandori.
I'm kind of holding off even on
Commands to your
getting
Pikmin
the latest
and
Switch in
Ochi.
terms of.
Collect more
I mean, this.
Oh, I like that. It's not one-on-one. It's a collect 'em up, and you gotta be strategic. That's a good battle
A
system.
nice little twist.
by rescuing castaways.
I don't see how they would fight them one-on-one. It would be two people arrive. I've got 50, you've got 40. I win.
Train Ochi and teach him new skills.
But if you've got 40, because 10 of them are grabbing a bunch of stuff that I didn't spot.
Exploration more manageable.
That's
For the
exactly it, man.
first time in
And
the Pikmin
the
series, you can eventually
the,
set out for night
I guess
expeditions.
the ability to listen to the audience and to
There's
kind
a
of feel
catch.
what's actually going to work
Nightfall
is
sends creatures into a frenzy.
it's commendable.
So stay
I-
alert.
One moment, let me keep quiet.
Thankfully, you'll come across the new glow
Why are they
Pikmin,
ghosts?
which only appear at night.
Again, this is why I think this
Find
spirit, the
luminals that
Princess
produce
Mononoke thing
valuable glow
is
sap.
is
These
being hinted
mounds
at.
also attract various wildlife. So use glow Pikmin to drive them away and protect
It's just
them
adding
from all.
complexity to upon complexity. I reckon people who have played a few of these games will recognize patterns and recognize elements, especially the bosses.
And Ochi by your side. No challenge is
But I didn't play Pikmin when I was younger. I played Overlord. Same game, but instead of being cutesy, you were basically Sauron and you would send out goblins.
Overlord, right?
So much fun. So much fun. Simple game. Wasn't as polished as Pikmin, but I love that game.
This is
We hope you
fantastic,
can
mate.
lead the Pikmin on your expedition.
We have even more Pikmin news to share.
Oh man, I was speaking over the
HD
beginning.
versions of the first two Pikmin games originally
Ooh, that's really gonna stoke people up. They're gonna like, hey, you excited about Pikmin 4? Well, here's 1 and 2.
Pikmin's release, a demo of Pikmin 4 will be available
Whoa!
on June 28th.
Okay, that's
Like, oh yeah, here's
around
1
the
and
corner.
2, and the new one is a week away.
Out when it releases.
That's good marketing.
for
You gotta say,
sure.
Nintendo Directs get people hyped because they drop some.
The renowned series of stealth action games is infiltrating Nintendo Switch
what's this?
as Metal Gear Solid
What?
Master Collection Volume 1.
Oh, I've been stoked for this. 1.
Metal Gear Solid. Infiltrating the
Sons of Liberty.
control of Shadow Moses Island.
This is nuts.
Metal Gear Solid
Give me 3. Give me 3. I want 3. Give me 3.
Locate
Yes!
and retrieve a deadly amphibious weapon. Metal Gear Solid 3.
God.
Snake Eater
Oh.
survive the jungle
Ow, I've
and
got
confront
Metal
four
Gear and
monsters.
Metal Gear 2.
You can also enjoy the games that started the series.
Wow.
Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2.
That's terrible.
Solid
The
Snake,
NES one
as well as
just.
the NES versions of both Metal Gear.
Ooh,
and
I've got the digital graphic novel as well.
This compilation also contains the first Metal Gear.
I would say
Solid
because
digital
I'm a
graphic
big fan
novel.
of the artist of the graphic novel. I've got other things they've done.
Additional content includes
Sokolov.
screenplay books and master books with story and character info, strategy guides, and
That was the
original
collection.
soundtrack. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection
October 24th.
launches on Nintendo Switch October 24th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. The first 3 Metal Gear Solid games will also be available.
I know. I don't know whether to pick that up on Switch or pick it up on PlayStation.
It's time to survive.
You know, oh my god, I
Steal thy
Oh, this is a fun game. I've put about 40 hours into this game.
You have what it takes to survive a
It's
30-minute
just such a simple
onslaught of
premise,
monsters.
but it is very. It's a Pringle game. It's once you pop.
Because so, yep.
Oh man, I am. Oh, I have. Okay, I have to see if it's Metal Gear Solid. It's coming out on PC as well. It's coming out on PC, maybe PC. If it's coming out on PlayStation and on Switch, I don't know.
4 players can now play together in couch co-op.
Couch co-op.
I was saying, if you do play this game, Vampire Survivors, I recommend checking out the Bestiary. It was written by Jane Stephanie Sterling from the Jimquisition.
Oh really?
And she nailed it. It is hilarious. Like genuinely gut laughing, funny.
You're a pigeon. Yeah, you heard that right. Play online in this rhythm
What
battle
the-
royale and aim to be the last bird standing. Up to 30
What's this?
players can ruffle each
It's like,
other's feathers
oh my
and
gosh,
use
like
This-
robot
say-
chicken.
Copy the
This
little
looks
boxes
funny,
directly in
but
Quest Commander.
I remember Skatebird. Not too long ago, there was supposed to be a skateboarding game, Tony Hawk's, but you're a bird.
No, wait, did you come up with that idea?
No. I not my idea. This is an actual game. They promoted it about a year or so ago. It was in promoted for a while. It came out and people were really stoked, like, wow, Skatebird looks great. And it came out and it bombed. It was a terrible release. And that kind of broke my heart. So this, the
It looks
bird
like
thing,
cute, but, yeah.
it looks cute. It looks fun. I think it's more of a party game.
Yeah.
On the run, entangled in
I'm
a
thinking to
chaotic
myself, Dan,
audition
that
veered
if we
way
had,
off script. She's managed to make
my
some
God.
powerful enemies and
Sorry,
a newly
there's so
animated
much great
friend
stuff happening.
in this 3D
Sonic Mania.
platforming adventure from the
What?
team behind
Sonic Mania?
This is same team as Sonic Mania.
The world of Macaroon. And how Penny and Yo-Yo escape the clutches of the grouchy Emperor Eddie. Perform stylish acrobatic
Oh,
tricks
I can
to
see the
avoid
Sonic
Eddie's
influence
massive
with the
horde of
physics.
pushy
The
penguins.
kind of slopes and
Power up
speeds.
Yo-Yo to protect
And
Penny from foul play. You can
there
also
you go,
put
time
your
attack.
skills to the test in time attack mode to unlock
It's
special
cute.
items,
It's cute, and I can see like younger Sonic fans being interested in it.
After all, take the stage when Penny's Big Breakaway launches on Nintendo Switch early next year.
Oh, nice. What do we got?
Rev up for Wave 5. A brand
Well, that
new
looks
craze
nice.
is racing into Wave
Nice.
5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass.
Don't be a multi-tier. Just give me a regular track. Petey Piranha from Double Dash.
From Mario Kart Double Dash, Petey Piranha.
Wiggler.
Yeah.
I'm not as impressed with him.
Wiggler.
Although, if only Yoshi would show up and just stop eating him off
From
bit by
Mario
bit.
Kart Tour, Kamek.
I gotta say, I will be interested to see where they go with Mario Kart because they've kind of, it's like Smash. They've kind of peaked. Like, all they can do is add to it. You know, if they went, hey, Mario Kart 9, like, you kind of got it, you know? It's quintessential now.
You know, here's the thing. Mario Kart, and I'm so stoked about that because,
Two worlds,
oh, here we
one
go.
fateful encounter. A remake of the
Moment.
second Star
One thing I want to say about Mario
Ocean
Kart quickly
game,
is that
new graphics
considering,
that
oh
fuse
my
2D
god,
and
considering its
3D is
mascot
on the way.
addition to the
After a
Nintendo
mission
consoles,
goes
if you
wrong,
bring out a new
Federation
Nintendo
Officer
console, you have a new
Claude
Mario
is
Kart
stranded
easy.
on an undeveloped planet.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would absolutely agree with you. And I think maybe they're wringing more out of it for the Switch because this is an unusually long life cycle for the Switch. Maybe they're struggling with the next one, or maybe the next one's going to be great, but it's a big leap forward. I mean, I love the Switch, but with raw gameplay, with raw game power, it is weak sauce compared to the other consoles out there.
This is
And
yeah.
you know, the latest generation from PlayStation and Xbox, they are powerful machines.
But this
So-
is what I think is what shows the strength of the IPs of Japanese games. Therefore, is the fact that they still look quite a while behind. In fact, Nintendo was always like picked on by other people for looking more vibe, but at the same time, they still make it up big time with sales and so
Yeah.
on because people, like I said, really found their voice, and even though they don't, not everything is a trope, but
Maybe. I mean, Nintendo. When Nintendo's doing well, people berate them for being out of touch, and when they're doing well, when they're doing badly, people berate them. When they're doing well, people go, "Oh, they're doing their own thing. They're in their own pond. They're not an actual game company. They're just like that's the." Oh, bitches! WarioWare.
Mayhem in the latest WarioWare game. Hold 2 Joy-Con controllers, then action. Move your body to take on a
Yeah, it's fun. That looks fun. I played the WarioWare on the Wii, and that was a blast. That was
Yeah, of
so
course.
much fun.
yes, WarioWare, man.
So this could be fun.
Road to victory. If you've got 2
But yeah,
pairs of
like you said about the
controllers,
Switch,
play with
that's
a friend in
that happens.
local
But
co-op.
I really do think that,
Sync up
that
your actions
Nintendo
to
and
beat each
a lot of
microgame.
Japanese companies know what they're doing when it
Plus, up
comes
to 4
to
players can live it
making the
up
most
across
out of.
various
I mean, just like the
minigames
country
and
with the
party
resources that Japan has.
I think
they're
that
making the most.
was true. You know, I would agree with you to a certain point, but in the past 5 years or so, there have been some major shifts in the corporate culture of Nintendo. Both in Nintendo Japan and Nintendo America have got new CEOs, new heads, and they've announced that they are moving away from their old strategies. They are moving to more generalized strategies. That's why we're seeing a lot more DLCs. We're seeing Mario Tour. More, you know, I loathe to use the term, but more mainstream gameplay plans.
WarioWare game.
And it's a little disconcerting, you know. Nintendo was always kind of a live in its own bubble, but produce high quality space. It made the Nintendo sold to Nintendo fans. And people joined because what they were producing was of a better quality than what other people were getting. Because they weren't interested in competing, they wanted to polish what they already had. It's also why it takes so long before they get new IP. They just keep rehashing the old IP, but getting it better and better and better. And people will come and go, "Hey, we want to put our games on your console." They're like, "Great!" And so they make a lot of money that way by franchising out their console. But Nintendo's products were always Nintendo because it's the same characters.
Interesting.
But now we're getting more. It's expanding out, going in new directions. Could be good.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that what was known as the Nintendo strategy could begin to change, and we need to be ready for it. Ooh.
Yeah.
Vast number of players
I think.
enjoying their time
Okay,
in
here we
Hyrule
go.
in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which released last month.
Oh, you're welcome. I was playing it right up until we started this thing.
I mean, also.
An amiibo figure.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that.
released to
I'm getting that.
coincide with the game's
Yes.
Oh, I gotta say, the new Ganondorf is he's
are planned to be released
What?
this holiday.
thirsty, man. He is thick. He is hot. And I never thought of Ganondorf as hot. He was always stoic and chiseled, but now it's like, dude is a beefcake.
This is the business.
Onward and upward.
What's this?
Yeah, what do you think of the prospect of? Oh, his voice sounds like Chris Pratt, man. What do you think? What do you think of the idea of the Sonic movie being a Mario movie? Like the next Mario movie actually having Sonic in it.
Having Sonic in it?
That'd be like a big surprise. That
It would be a big surprise. I really hope they don't and they keep them separate.
It's like, come on.
But maybe a cutaway gag or a background detail, just kind of like Sonic is a character in the Mario universe.
I think, yeah, I think, well, if that, I mean, I think I agree with you in terms of keeping them separate because it's like.
Is this a speedrunning game? Like
So, yeah.
Is this a new Mario game or is this
Wow,
a
this is super trippy, man. If you thought he was on much
Yeah, man, it's like
no, he's really.
it feels a little bit like one of those endless running mobile games.
I gotta say, I admire the. It's pretty clever, man. I mean, this is puts Mario Maker.
Oh
to
wow,
shame.
it is a genuine game.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Super Mario Brothers
I mean-
Wonderland. I just think it's
Characters,
a wonder.
and it is polished.
That's pretty impressive. I'm gonna get. Oh boy, I love to play this with family or.
Yeah, get in there, Daisy.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, sorry about that.
What, foreground, background, multiple characters.
This is pretty clever.
This,
They're not joking.
no, this is a. I don't know. It feels like it's the next 2D Mario game, but they've really lent into the cutesy nature.
I mean, like I said, it's beyond. You know, this is in my opinion. This game is wonderful. I'm in love with it already, but I must say this is the kind of game that illustrates what I'm talking about. With there's always a new barrier that Nintendo can break. Every time people think that they've reached their peak, every time, no matter what, I always say that just with my belief in the power of the imagination, and all that.
He's an elephant.
Don't tell me.
He's an elephant.
Wow, that's fantastic. See, this is what I think. I think Nintendo really can keep breaking past what people's expectations are. That was very creative. I
That
mean,
was the
personally,
brand new 2D
I just love to
side-scrolling
play that and
Mario
just
game.
my jaw
Super
just
Mario
drop at
Brothers
how they just
Wonder.
broke so many rules. The pipes are
When you touch
bendy.
a Wonder
He's
Flower,
become a
expect the
magnificent.
unexpected.
Everything's psychedelic, and it's
The
like
ground could start moving.
It's like a randomizer.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is,
also
this is
flowers
beyond
talking.
Mario Maker so
Daisy
far.
is playable.
It's
Mario became an
twisted
elephant
so many
again.
things in a
A lot
topsy-turvy
of
fashion
things
on its head,
happen.
and it's
We'll
like
share more details in the future, so we hope you'll
that's
look
like you're saying with
forward
Breath of the Wild
That's all
versus
for Nintendo Direct.
versus Tears of the Kingdom.
Thank you for watching.
There are different dimensions you can travel in Tears of the Kingdom. It's more vertical, like you're saying, and they're different. They know that I mean, they're trying to get the bloody most out of the Switch until Hellfree's over or something. But and then because who knows what the next console will be? Maybe there's not a next console around the corner, so they're just at the moment just making the most of their IPs that can survive different generations and so on. And
Well, what I say, Nintendo feels like the answer to a lot of stupid questions in the gaming industry. Whenever I hear people talk about, oh, gaming's fidelity, your graphics are getting more impressive and more expensive, and I think Mario's games are more polished,
yeah,
but they're not more complex. They're not more detailed. You know, they're not. What's the correct euphemism? No, it's not. And Nintendo's like Mario games look great, but they're not becoming more polygonal. They're not becoming more realistic. People go, "Oh, it won't be greater realism."
right.
Why is Mario consistently popular? You know, a lot of the games that break the bank,
You said
they
it,
don't
mate.
look great. They're just
Yeah.
good games.
I think
know-
you said it. I think that's the thing. This is what I'm trying to get at. Is again the whole thing about the traditionalism versus the modernism or the modern age, if you will. And this is what I think. Like when it comes to things like AI, this is where I think the imagination trumps it, and which is what I really revere Japan for. It's got a nice touch and a nice grasp on tradition, and whilst still trying to go for go into the unknown that that modern technology gives us access to, and it's because they and it's shown through exactly how they handle their art. So you got the like I was saying, the anime art style. I imagine once upon a time when anime was first made, it had a bit of an intention to be a bit realistic. I mean, when back when they first started, when I mean, if not even anime, let's go back to manga. Let's take Akira, right? If you look at Akira, it's super detailed. You can see the lines of people's fingers if you look closely, but it's still impressionistic. You know, it's like just like just like those old drawings you see in museums in an art gallery. But what I'm trying to get at is they didn't say let's make it more realistic. They said this is our style and we'll polish that, as opposed to let's just try and I was trying to be realistic, but this is the best I can do. So next thing, the moment I get a chance to just go full realism, I'm going to go for it. Anime world didn't die just because more realistic art forms became more easy to produce through technology. So, although, like you're saying, Japan still knows how to. You have people out there who try to make photorealistic stuff in Japan, but the people who love anime, and I get that sense through Nintendo's art form, Mario and the dungarees. You know, they're not changing Mario. They're not trying to give him a beard like Ryu or something. They're keeping certain things iconic and keeping them consistent, whilst in changing the way you interact with it, or different and looking at it in different ways, but essentially having that one core strand of DNA, if you will. And what do you think?
No, I agree with you there. I think that they spent a lot of time building up their characters. They made a lot of money. They struck gold. Nintendo was at the right place in the right time. They had a great product, and they sold it very, very well. But it became the cultural phenomena, not just in Japan, but globally. Like Mario was like the face of a new generation, because the world was still looking for entertainment, and they came along and went, hey, this is the family entertainment system. They didn't sell it as a games console. And when we're talking about I'm making reference to the crash of Atari and the fall of the Western gaming market. When gaming markets came out, the publishers companies were selling all their own console. Every company was trying to sell their own console, and all the games were all. You know what? I want to say all. I say all of them were pretty crap. Some of them had some great kicks to them, some nice primary gameplay loops. But the idea was everyone was fighting to be the guy who sells the console and the games. It crashed. That there was trying to wring money from a stone. They were asking people to pay too much, and it wasn't working. So the gaming industry crashed. The entire market fell out. But people still wanted these kinds of games. There was a market, but it was marketed poorly. Then along comes Nintendo, and they go, "Hey, all these companies, you want to make games? Great, make the games, put them on our console, one console." They came along, and people were like, "Well, what have they got?" Mario. Simple, clear design, great gameplay, and it just was the right game at the right time, and all of a sudden made a massive celebration. It made a superstar. Every kid around the world knew Mario. His face was instantly recognizable. He was like Ronald McDonald or Mickey Mouse. Everyone knew Mario. There were competitors, but the fact that they kept polishing and doing the same Mario, and as you said, it was one of those tentpole games, one of those console generational games. There's 1 or 2 Mario games per generation. These days we tend to get a 2D and a 3D Mario almost every generation. And they release them, but Mario stays the same. The world may change, the challenges may change, the power-ups may change, but Mario is eternal. He's no longer a character, he's a freaking brand.
Yeah.
And boom, it worked, it kept people coming back. People came back to play games, and Mario games are consistently some of the best games because they're just well crafted.
Yeah, they're what you got on the tin. I mean, the secret. Yeah, I have to say, your timing is very important, of course, with how this stuff struck. And this is another reason why I keep bringing us back to the concept of Japan being a time capsule. Is that a lot of the stuff that they say necessity is the mother of invention, right? So
of course.
So we have the Nintendo coming in the industry at that moment when, a Top Hat Gaming Man says, people say
end of the 80s, early at the start of the 90s. It's
right, and
it's just right at the right moment.
Right now, here's a tricky thing: is that again, like Top Hat Gaming Man would say, that Nintendo didn't just save Nintendo. When people like to say Nintendo saved the game industry from the crash, but it tried to monopolize everything.
The crash happened. The crash happened. The industry was in turmoil. Then Nintendo came in with a great product, with a great game, but the entire market was just a rolling chaos. It was the primordial soup of an industry, and then bam, it was like a comet hit, and everything was geared around Nintendo. Hell, for it's not insignificant period, the verb used or the noun used for a video game was Nintendo.
Yes.
When people
Playing
talked about video games as a genre, you're playing a Nintendo.
It's like
What are you going to play Nintendo?
yeah, exactly. It's like
But
using a Kleenex
it's
for
like-
tissue. In
Yeah,
America.
exactly. Or Coke for soda. You know,
Yes.
some parts of America, they just call them all Cokes. Like all the entire, soda marketplace is just referred to as Coke because that word has dominated, and that's how you know. In almost all instances, once your name becomes the noun or the verb for something, you kind of made it. Now, Nintendo has had its detractors, and Sega gave them a good hard run for their money, and then Nintendo dropped the ball and created one of their biggest competitors in Sony. They're not faultless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've made a lot of bad mistakes. And many of us remember the Wii U, the Virtual Boy.
Oh dear, that's headache-inducing thing.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yes, it's not as 3D as we claim. It's this 3D device maybe not as portable as we claim or as 3D, and it may give you eye strain, but Mario.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. So, Nintendo, I think another thing that makes it feel all the more significant, I don't know, or meaningful to us is the vulnerability. Like even though they go out there and they have ambition, not political ambition, well maybe, but they have corporate ambition, if anything, to try and just make their brand known and all that. They know that everything is still a gamble. And by the time they put even the 3DS, I mean, boy, I remember everybody complaining about that, not looking so 3D, but giving them 3D eyes instead. It would at least, oh no, this what's that? Does that device called stereoscopic vision, right?
Oh, stereoscopic vision, yeah.
And it was it's funny when I put on Street Fighter 3 to play that game, it looked impressive for a moment. The problem is when you turn it, it's like, oh, it's not real. And then it's one thing if you go to IMAX cinema and the whole place is blacked out and you got these glasses on and you have to kind of convince yourself that this must be coming at me. But when you got an actual device in your hands, it's not as bad as the Virtual Boy, but it shows you the limit of the ambition. But that being said, the idea that Mario was there throughout all of these attempts at breaking into the market again, gives you that sense that we tried it too. I mean, it's very much a we movement, not just Nintendo Wii, if you pardon the pun, but an us movement.
An us movement, yeah.
So when you do that with your audience, you personalize the experience through every Mario game, through every bit of hardware, and all the while, I still say that I commend Nintendo for having there's something that they understand on a traditional level that the other companies in the West don't get. The West is always trying to outdo itself. They're even kind of obsessed with competition, in my opinion, to the point where it's quite soulless. They just it seems like they just like I was saying about the I know Sony's a PlayStation is Sony product, which Sony's from Japan, but even Sony doesn't get it like Nintendo, and it's more Western in the spirit in that. Like what I mean by I said that is like remember that whole thing about the game is just the beginning ad I was talking about last time, and I was like, it's like no, the game is the thing. You don't get it. It's not a little gimmick to sell
Sony didn't start as a game company. They started as a tech company, and so everything. Their gaming became a wing of their large company. They weren't, game makers.
Yeah.
They were tech bros.
Yeah, in fact, who is it? I think Mr. As I recall him, Crazy Ken Kutaragi. He'd say, the PlayStation is not a gaming machine. We never once said it was a gaming machine. It was a supercomputer. I'm like, look, man, shut up if you're not a gaming developer. But at the same time, fair enough. He wants to sell and be that kind of we just want to outdo people vibe is what kills games, in my opinion. Now, again, I mean, what when it comes to when you think of the long game, so when it comes to again, the Xbox, I gotta say, hats off to the graphics. When I was playing, I think Call of Duty, despite the controversy at the moment, but anyway, I was playing Call of Duty and when I was working for Microsoft in UK. What was that company called again? HP or something. Oh no, it's a game testing place. But I was playing. I was like, these graphics are unbelievable. It's like mouth-wateringly realistic. But it's something. It's something about a Mario game still that game can't hold a candle to when it comes to a Mario game. It's not a game anymore. It's just a super simulation. And I'm like, look, no, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's definitely a game, but it's the game element. It's got to have that toy element, and that's what Nintendo has. There's no toys coming from. Sony's almost there. I mean, but no, they haven't really got it. Like
Yeti Croshaw from Zero Punctuation did a series of videos where he made over 12 months. He made 12 games, so he made a playable game, every month. I frankly, staggeringly absurd premise, but the idea was it was an experiment to improve his gameplay refinement, because you can't keep your baby. You know, if you're in the creative industry, you have to publish. You know, publish or perish. You know, it's great wanting to make the best game or write the most beautiful story, craft the best song, but if it's not out there being consumed, it's worthless. So he was like, I'm in a funk, I can't get this done, I'm just gonna blitz through a bunch of ideas and just try a bunch of things. And you know, it was great, but all the way through he did he video blogged a lot of it. Every 2 weeks he did a video on, you know, what he's done next, how the game is progressing. And he kept referring back to the primary gameplay loop, that what do you do in the game, beat for beat. And lots of game designers will talk about, oh, it's going to be an epic story. And like, great, that's the goal. Oh, no, that's the context. Whatever. What do you do? Do you shoot? Do you climb? Do you run? Do you punch? Do you collect? Mario games may have some just acid trip like ideas. You know, some of the power-ups and the levels and the scenarios he's in are frankly, you know, someone's getting high to come up with this stuff, or just, you know, throwing crap. Pardon my language, throwing stuff. You know, pulling words off of a dartboard. But the primary loop of a Mario game is so satisfying. It's like the 2D form, just that running and jumping, is so crisp and tangible. It's why, you know, adding physics like jumps to a Mario game gave us Sonic. And Sonic was such a challenger because it was basically the same gameplay loop, but with, hey, now with physics. What? It wasn't like, oh, I can run X amount of speed. It was like, no. If you get the right angle, you can get faster. Or if you take the jump right, you could get further, as opposed to the controlled skill of a Mario. You have the tangible experimentation and development of a Sonic. But then when Nintendo 64 came out, this story is famous. Everyone knows the story. The first year of development was Mario in a white room. They just wanted to make moving Mario good. They focused simply on the primary loop, which is Mario traversing. Mario is moving around a space. That's the game. That's the loop. When you're playing the game, whatever you're doing, whatever goal or star or boss you're fighting, all of it is Mario moving. And they made Mario's movement satisfying. And too many games in the last 10 years I've played, gone, oh, this looks good. Moment to moment, I'm not having fun. There'll be great set pieces, there'll be great scenarios, but actually playing the bleeping thing isn't fun. And then you're a Mario. And I don't care how many Marios I play, but every single one of them is just a fun game. because
yeah.
it's just satisfying.
That's it. That's it. I think. Wait, I'm really, dude. I think I'm gonna run out of juice on this machine, but in about a few minutes. But I think we got a few minutes more. But that, dude, thanks so much for catching me on this direct. This is I mean, excuse me, Professor Suzuka wants to give her 2 pence. So I think we may be a bit stuck in terms of now Sunday as it goes. I may be a bit tied up with some stuff, and she's a bit unavailable in the evening. I was trying to see if I
Yeah,
can squeeze it up
she's.
in
I know
there.
she's busy, and buddy, we've all got lives. We've all got stuff going on. Don't worry about it. But whenever you are free, I'm happy to chat with you.
Cheers, mate.
And it's nice to talk with someone about these Nintendo Directs. I'm going to go back and rewatch some of those videos because I want to see more about the Super Mario RPG.
Oh my word!
And I'm going to do some self-speculating on both the Metal Gear Solid and Arkham series coming out to the Switch. Like, that's pretty heavy. I mean, the first 2 Arkham games, I could imagine it. Fair enough. I mean, they got Arkham City on the Wii U, so wasn't great, but they got it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
On the Switch, reasonable. I completed the Arkham Knight on the PlayStation 4, and that pushed the PlayStation 4. So if they can get it on a Switch, I'm impressed. And I have to do some research on Metal Gear Solid as well because I'm getting it. I don't want to bite multiple times.
Yeah,
I will, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, to be honest. But that being said about Metal Gear, but I was thinking, by the way, Direct is my first time doing one. Is this Direct going to? This is the only Direct for the year?
No. There are a few directs throughout the year. There's usually like one a season, like 2, 3 directs for the year. Then there's a few mini ones. They'll have a direct just for ancillary third-party ones. But it's like this is the summer direct.
Ah, got it.
And then it'll be a few months down the line. There'll be another one. So if I do a quick check, Nintendo Directs. The June one's just dropped. Then before that, Nintendo Directs. So yeah, they'll have one every couple of months.
Okay, so hopefully we'll catch. Who knows? Maybe Professor Suzuka will be.
Yeah, the next one comes out. It'll be fun.
But I'm glad we caught. This is the first one on the channel. Let me see if I'm going to. I guess like I said, I gotta sign off. But I'm gonna rewatch it myself. Also, that's awesome. The last thing, I want to close off on this one. The Switch, I suppose, it's like a tidying up of the ideas that they tried to get out with the 3DS and the Wii U, and now that they are on the iPhone, they don't really need. Maybe they feel that they don't need to have a portable but little mini console anymore. That the days of the Game Boy and DS can be translated into the iPhone and the Switch, maybe. But I don't know. What do you have any ideas about what hardware you think is they're gonna try and bring out next? Do you think they're gonna? I mean, if they're gonna bring a new console, what? My theory, by the way, down the line, I got a feeling that we're gonna be dealing, especially with AI. We're going to be dealing with consoles that incorporate actual robotics. I got a feeling of some way down the future. I mean, once the whole thing about robotics gets more defined, what people are actually trying to do with it, I got a feeling one day you're going to be seeing a machine that actually is like, you remember Giru from Dragon Ball GT? I don't know if him that guy. Yeah.
Yep.
I got a feeling you're gonna have something a bit like that, but it'll be right. That's to say, not super goofy with all these unnecessary little compartments hanging off it, but something that is either maybe a virtual robot, maybe something like that inside. Maybe they'll incorporate like an AI entity that is like your friend in the game. I don't know, but
that would be nice. But AI's, it's gonna hit the same barriers, the same walls that have all AI, which is it's way too dumb at this point.
Yeah,
So
it depends. I mean, where it depends where,
I
where
mean,
technology.
AI is not at a point where we can have an actual conversation with it. So
Yeah,
even the Chat GPT thing, that's just a really, really impressive predictive text, and I've got that on my phone. So
it can
I'm
write
not
emails,
impressed.
but it's not the same as an actual. I think we'll always need people, but it's whoops. Oh, sorry. I guess I have to shut off the machines. Telling me to get lost.
Yeah. All right. Talk
Thanks,
soon,
mate.
buddy. Let the machine rest.
Yes, and thanks for staying so late. I'm sorry about this, by the way. But
No worries. No worries.